The novel coronavirus, first reported in Wuhan, China, is continuing to spread globally as public health officials scramble to contain it. Tens of thousands of cases have been confirmed across the world, and hundreds of people have been killed by the disease. And the world still faces a lot of uncertainty about how and when the outbreak will be contained. Some countries are quarantining and testing their citizens for the virus if they've been in China's Hubei province in the past 2 weeks. Off the coasts of Japan and Hong Kong, 2 cruise ships with over 7,000 people aboard were quarantined after passengers were diagnosed with the virus. All passengers are set to be held for 14 days, but passengers told CNN that information about their quarantine has been slow to come. In order to contain the virus, China has ordered a lockdown of millions of people and placed the majority of Hubei province, where the virus was first reported, under quarantine. In a matter of days, China built 2 hospitals dedicated to treating the coronavirus, and schools in Hong Kong and Macau are currently suspended. However, reaction to China's approach has been mixed. The head of the World Health Organization praised China for committing to transparency, both internally and externally, amid the outbreak. China has also faced scrutiny, especially for its handling of a whistleblower doctor, Li Wenlong, who alerted the public of a SARS-like disease in late December. Li was questioned and reprimanded by police before dying from the disease himself, according to Wuhan Central Hospital. Chinese state broadcaster CCTV reported that 2 newborn babies in Wuhan were diagnosed with the coronavirus shortly after being delivered, the youngest only 30 hours old, born to a mother with the virus. CCTV reported that the virus may have been transmitted from the mother. However, without more details, it's impossible to discern whether the babies were indeed infected in the womb or if they were exposed shortly after delivery, through contact with the mother, or through the handling of health workers. Across Asia, governments are dealing with a shortage of medical face masks as crowds rushed to stores as the virus spread. People waited for hours to buy a mask in Hong Kong. In South Korea, citizens were banned from hoarding masks, and in Thailand, the government enacted price control. The Vatican even took action, shipping hundreds of thousands of masks to China. However, the director for global infectious hazard management at the World Health Organization warned that the masks alone are not a universal fix and should be paired with hand washing to be most effective. News of the outbreak evoked memories of SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, which infected more than 8,000 and killed 774 people in 2003. The number of confirmed Wuhan coronavirus cases has already surpassed that of SARS.
Within the epicenter of the deadly coronavirus, an eerie silence. The streets of Wuhan, China, a city 11 million people call home, mostly empty. But even in self-quarantine, locals like Wu Chen keep moving.
I live in the Jinginghu area of Wuhan.
The start of day 21 when we chatted with Wu. He's only left his place 3 times.
I don't really have any real difficulties in daily life right now, except that I'm extremely bored at being confined at home.
Most his time spent in his apartment with Baozi, his cat.
I stopped going out from about January 13th because I feel the epidemic is quite serious and it is relatively safer to stay home.
From cooking to practicing good hygiene, the 26-year-old graphic designer records videos to keep entertained. Baozi makes several appearances. Having friends over isn't really an option.
Every residential compound has got the order, not allowing any outsiders from coming in.
But Wu wishes the rest of the country was a bit more understanding.
The epidemic is in no one's control. I know maybe the people of China are biased about Wuhan people. Plus, the government didn't resolve problems in time. Although it was a small number of people who flew out of Wuhan and spread the epidemic, all the Wuhan citizens are now carrying the blame. I don't think that's sensible.
My local convenience store, as you guys can see, starting to get pretty cleared out here. So I'm going to grab some food while I got the chance.
American teacher Justin Stees gives us a feel from an expat's perspective. He is awaiting the proper paperwork to evacuate his wife, who is Chinese, and their 1-month-old baby. He and many others here becoming at-home health safety experts.
Next thing we want to do is we want to take eye protection. While I don't have a pair of medical safety goggles, I do have my handy dandy eye shades here, which I really like these.
Back inside Wu's home, a daily temperature check, followed by a game of hide and go seek with Baozi.
I believe the epidemic will pass, and for us ordinary people, all we can do is take good care of ourselves.
Day 22 is still hours away.
I'm at Miramar Navy Corporate Air Force Base for 14 days quarantine. This is our first day. We are allowed to do anything inside the fence, but not allowed to go outside. And then you can see in the back, there's 2 tents set up in this compound that they will provide any emergency medical care.
So this is my second time this week coming out of my self-quarantine. So Mom just went into the store to get some tea. Mom's back. This is Mom. So as you can tell, one of the precautions I'm taking is I wear my mask so that even though I'm not leaving the car, I am not getting anything or anyone infected. And then I also carry with me hand sanitizer.
The risk of infection for Americans remains low. And with these and our previous actions, we are working to keep the risk low.